Welcome to the Kitcast by Hull City Kits, where we take an in-depth look at Tigers apparel, past and present. I'm Les, and joining me again are match-worn shirt collectors Adam and Mikey.
In this episode, we'll take a look at the wider goings-on of the kit universe. We've got an in-depth review with Les on the 2012-2013 away shirt. We'll also see what Les and Adam have added into the collections, and we'll also do a new piece called Auction Action, where I'll have a look at the Hull City match-worn shirts that have sold on online auction sites.
But before we do all of that, we've been really busy recently, so let's show you what we've been up to.
Adam and I were invited to the National Football Museum in mid-October to take part in a roundtable discussion about kits, how they've gone from functional sportswear to leisure wear, and how they've developed with changing technologies and fashions. We were joined by John Devlin, author of the True Colours books, Jay Handley of DesignFootball.com, Phil Dells of Footy.com, and Sarah Collins, a former head designer at Reebok, where she designed kits for Liverpool and Bolton. The discussion was filmed for use in the forthcoming Strip exhibition, which runs from the 22nd of November to the 7th of June 2020 at the National Football Museum in Manchester. Kicking off a busy half-term week, we supplied shirts worn by Ian Ashby and David Myler for the Evening With event in the Kingston suite of the KCOM Stadium. We got into a fascinating discussion with David Myler late in the evening, covering everything from the allocation of squad numbers to boot deals. We had far more shirts on display at the Open Training event, which was attended by over 1,000 people, and kids got to play en masse against the players, as well as getting autographs and photos with the squad and staff. Our mini exhibition on the West Stand concourse featured player-worn shirts from the mid-1960s to present day and generated some fascinating discussions about past kits and the players who wore them. City shirts sported a back of shirt sponsor against Wigan in September and have been used on shirts ever since. The online group has their logo under the numbers in their livery of blue on the home and away kits, but on the third kit it's printed in white. Speaking of the third kit, that was used for the first time in the 2-1 win at the City Ground against Nottingham Forest. Here's a picture of the third shirt in use.
City wore poppy shirts against Fulham and will again against West Bromwich Albion. They actually considered wearing the third kit for the Fulham game with poppies on them, but obviously with them being in small quantities at the shop, having 30 of them out of stock for a poppy shirt, it's just not feasible really for the club. So they will wear the home shirt again against West Brom with the poppy applique on, and here's a picture of it against Fulham.
Liverpool have been to court to end their contract that they've got with New Balance. They've wanting to sign a new contract with Nike. There is an agreement in place in their current contract where New Balance, as long as the terms have been matched, they can continue that agreement that they've got with Liverpool. They believe that they can get far more exposure by going to Nike, getting their shirts in more shopping outlets across the world. So yeah, what's your opinions on that one, guys?
I've not got much to say on the court battle, but in terms of Liverpool going to Nike, I do feel that of all of the teams in England that are quite high profile and will get a big deal, I think Liverpool's colourway of all red is the one that probably works most with Nike's vaporware template. So I actually think from kit aesthetics point of view, that's pretty good.
Speaking of aesthetics though, New Balance have made some really nice kits for Liverpool, so I'm actually quite shocked that they've decided to jump ship before the current deal's finished. I mean, here's some of the shirts that they've made for them. Also, West Ham ladies wore a pink shirt, but we know...
I'll do this bit.
We know Mikey likes pink.
Yeah, so West Ham ladies, as Adam said, they revealed a pink shirt back in September. Initially, it was just meant to be a warm-up shirt that they were going to wear. It was in support of breast cancer, and what they decided to do is they wore that for their 3 games in the women's divisions. I think 2 of them were league games, one in the cup, through the month of October, and they're going to auction those off, and the money's going to go towards breast cancer now. Here's a quick snap.
Italy have launched a green shirt, which they wore at home against Greece, I initially thought, what's going on? You wear blue. I didn't like the fact that they're wearing green. And then got told it was a third shirt, which I also despise. Third shirt's been worn at home, so I don't quite get the concept of wearing it there. It should have been worn maybe Greece away for the qualifier. The shirt itself is a stunning shirt, but at home, it's not for me.
There's definitely a debate to be had about whether you should wear third kits at home. FIFA do allow it, as long as the kit's registered with them, you can wear what you like. But really, you expect to see Italy in blue, and there was some angry remarks in some of the Italian newspapers. I know Tuttosport, they put on the front page that they thought it was sacrilege, that they were in green. There is actually some precedent. Italy wore, I think, a green kit in the 1950s, and they did used to have a thing where the youth players wore green and they almost had to earn the blue kit, and Puma claimed that they were making a point that most of the Italy first team squad are under 25 now, so they're making a point about an Italian team renaissance of having young players, but it still feels like sort of marketing's won out over that. But
It shouldn't be worn at home. It's as simple as that.
I do agree with you. I think it's a lovely shirt. I'm not normally a big fan of Puma stuff, but I think the brocade curtain pattern really hits the balance between being a bold design but actually still being quite classy.
Yeah, I think when you think about Italy, you think of the Azzurri, don't you? And you would naturally expect them to sort of wear that in home games. But here's a picture of the green shirt in action.
Juventus debuted a brand new kit in the recent game against Genoa, and it's interesting that they didn't announce that they was launching this kit, and they didn't officially acknowledge until the game had already kicked off. Now the kit's a collaboration between Juve, Adidas and the London skate brand Palace. Now Palace have got some history making football shirts. They did a collaboration with Umbro a little while ago where they made a Palace branded shirt based on the third kit that England took to Italia 90 but never got round to wearing. The shirt's interesting, the Juventus shirt. It features black stripes that are snakeskin that then gradate into black stripes with white dots, and then it all becomes like a bit of a mishmash at the bottom. The sponsor details, the crest, and the manufacturer marks, they're all either in neon yellowy green or like an orangey pink. I actually really quite like the shirt itself. I think it's more Juventus than the home shirt they're wearing this season, which is black and white halves.
Yeah, 100%. The Juventus in stripes is Juventus. It's more of a home shirt than their actual home shirt for me. I think the half shirts, a lot of people like it. It's not for me, but this new one it's a thing of beauty, to be honest. It's a really nice one.
Yeah, I just think it's crazy how they managed to keep it a secret as well.
Yeah, that is true.
With social media and everything, that something might have leaked or there might have been a spoiler or anything like that. But yeah, no, it was.
It's a nice surprise.
Yeah,
it was a nice surprise.
Yeah, I think there's probably not enough surprises when you think about things nowadays. Everyone's so eager to find out things. But it's nice to have a surprise.
But that's giving Juventus, is that 4 shirts now for this season? I honestly think it's going the way that every team will have a 4th or a 5th shirt even before we get too far into the future.
Well, you look at what Marseille have done. They've launched 2 shirts that are leisure wear, but they've been marketed as you'd market a match shirt. And I think with England at the World Cup, there was a lot of emphasis put on the warm-up shirt and the similarities to the Admiral 82 kit. That warm-up shirt got the same level of marketing and push as the actual match kit, and we're seeing a lot more merging of those things together, where stuff that you would normally just see in the club shop is being marketed in the same way that match shirts have been marketed.
Right, that's everything for kit news. Let's find out what these two have added to the collections.
So what have you picked up of late, Adam?
Right, so I'll start with this one, 2005.
You've been after one of those for a bit.
I have. It's been on the list for a while. So Craig Fagan shirt, which I'm really pleased to have. Great player. So yeah, it's ticked another box on the list. So
I've got a John Parkin one of these, and similar to this, the signature's done in gold. It was something that clearly was given to all players at signing sessions during that season.
Yeah,
good stuff. What else you
got? Then we've shown it off now at the exhibitions, but this one is really quite a special shirt. It's a rubbish season, but it's a really special shirt because it's not only Ian Ashby's shirt, but it's his last ever City shirt. He wore this against Reading. So yeah, to have that in our collection is a massive bonus, really, for us.
Looks a bit larger than the earlier shirts he wore.
Did get a bit bigger towards the end of his City career, but yeah, what a player to have a shirt from.
Kettles popped black.
And then the last one is this little number. So, anybody remember Yeovil away?
Indeed.
John Walter's shirt from that game. He was a sub in that game, but still.
But he came on.
He did, yeah.
He?
But still, what a piece of history for us to have.
There was so many. We wore that shirt loads throughout
Yeah.
that season, but in a lot of games we forgot to put the patches on,
Yeah.
or there'd be like 2 players had the patches and everybody else had blank sleeves. But everybody had patches on for the Yeovil game, so it's often a good indicator if you see one from that season, one of the black shirts. If it's got patches, there's a good chance it came from that Yeovil game.
Yeah, so really pleased to have those 3 added to the collection. What about yourself, Les?
Beautiful. Okay, I recently picked up this goalkeeper shirt from the 2013-14 season, which is the year we made the FA Cup final. It belongs to Alan McGregor. I loved Alan McGregor.
Yeah.
I loved just watching him get angry and trying to get away with kicking strikers up in the air, and more than often than not he did. So really pleased with this one. It's signed on the back. There's also a little bit of mud on one of the sleeves, so it does appear that it's seen match action. So really pleased to have one of Angry Alan's shirts. Quite happy with that. Now I recently hit the milestone of 100 match-worn shirts. Now I'll be honest, I could have hit that milestone a long time ago, but there's been times where I don't like having lots of the same type of shirt. So say if we've got this as your regular home shirt, I don't want 5 of these.
Yeah.
I don't mind having one with a poppy, one with a trawler patches. I consider those different shirts, different styles, but I don't just want lots of these. So there's times when I've had a few and I've sort of trimmed them, I've sort of moved them on. But this one was number 100, and this was a shirt worn by Marcus Henriksen, believed to be worn against Birmingham.
Yes,
this one. Lastly, a little bit more special, this one. This becomes the second oldest shirt I own, second player issue shirt. I do have a 1965 to 69 home shirt, but this is the 1975 to 1980 away shirt. And what's fascinating is it's been signed by Les Mutry, although Les Mutry himself never played in this shirt. And that's because, back then, City didn't have much money, so things were recycled. So this would have been used for the 5 years between 1975 and 1980. Yeah. But then it would have been given another use. So, for example, the reserves might have used it, the youth team. In this case, Les Mutry used this shirt to train him. So he signed it both on the front and on the back above the number 10.
Number 10.
Now, the number 10 is quite a significant number because this was the away shirt worn in Ken Wagstaff's last season with the club, which was 1975-1976. And early in that season, we played a few games where we would have worn the white away shirt. So we played Mansfield away, we played Luton away on the first day of the season, and we played Oxford away as well. So it's entirely possible that this shirt could have been worn by Ken Wagstaff. It's just difficult to get photo evidence of that. There is a video of the Luton game, but the gap between the 1 and 0 looks a little bit far apart. Yeah. But it is entirely possible that this shirt has just shrunk a little bit. Nylon is fairly shrink resistant, but it will shrink over time. And if this was worn a lot, and I imagine it shrinking would suit Les Mutry. He had quite a small frame on him. But now this is shirt number 101, and I'm very pleased to have a shirt that's before my, not just before my City watching life, but actually before I was alive.
Isn't there a really good picture of Mr. Charlton wearing this shirt?
There is, yeah. This is the only Hull City shirt that Bobby Charlton ever wore. City did a Roy North Select TV 11. I think it was for Mally Lord's testimonial. I think John Prescott played in the same side. But yeah, there's a shot of quite an ageing Bobby Charlton, full on comb over, wearing one of these shirts. I think it's a long sleeve version. Yeah. So that's everything that we've got.
Welcome to Auction Action. In this edition, we're going to look at 4 shirts which sold on eBay. There's been a bit of a mini boom recently and we've decided that we're going to sort of bring auction action back, both in an article form on the website as well as a little segment on the Kitcast. There's 4 shirts that I'm going to take a look at today, and the first one is a match winner 1990-1992 away shirt. This shirt sold on eBay for £87, and you will notice that something is absent, and that would be the sponsor across the front. We do believe that this is highly likely to be a match worn shirt, but it is very, very strange considering it hasn't got the bonus across the front there. We do notice that it's got the Football League patches on the arms and a number 12 on the reverse. The number 12 has seen quite a lot of wear, so again, it could have been worn for training or something else. Basically, one thing that we do know is that if this shirt could talk, it'd be able to tell quite a lot of stories. We do have a little bit of disappointment here at the Hull City Kits HQ because none of us went for it. One of us probably should have done, but hindsight's beautiful. Also, we've got this 2012-2013 home shirt, which was Ahmed El Mohammedi's. It's just a run-of-the-mill shirt, but we was really surprised to see that it actually sold for £170. It was a promotion winning season, so that could have maybe interested somebody a little bit more, but we do believe that the person that's got this has probably overpaid a little bit. Next up is a 2013-2014 away shirt, and this was for Curtis Davis, and it was one of the poppy fixtures that we had against Southampton. The Tigers slipped to a 4-1 defeat this day, and as we've previously discussed on the Kitcast, Nate Sanders, an American auction house, picked up all of these shirts and they were on eBay for a very high amount of money. A drunken Adam one night decided to place a bid, and well, since then all 3 of us have got them. So somebody else has obviously decided to take the plunge on that. It was listed up on eBay at $1,250, which comes in at around about £1,000. On eBay, it does show that that was the amount you paid, but the chances are that somebody has put an offer in. If it was you, hit us up, let us know. We're really intrigued to find out. And lastly, we have a 2019-20 Hull City home shirt, which was issued to Jared Bowen. This was donated to Peterborough Football Club by their former player and manager, Grant McCann. This was donated in support of Tommy Robson, who was recently diagnosed with motor neurons disease. The footballing world is rallying round, and items have been donated all across the world to support Tommy. Here at Hull City Kits, we would like to send our best wishes to Tommy and his family. £410 was the value that this eBay item made, which will go towards supporting motor neurons disease. That's all. Thank you.
So let's take an in-depth look at the 2012-2013 away shirt by Adidas. The second spell we had with Adidas, which lasted 4 years from 2000 to 2014, can probably best be characterised by saying they did a better job with away kits than they did home kits for Hull City. But this is probably the pick of the bunch when it comes to away kits. So the black shirt with amber trim is a Regista 12 template shirt. That template was also used by Swindon as a home shirt and Bolton as a third shirt, and it features a simple self-coloured round overlapping neck piece. It's also got raglan sleeves, 2-piece raglan sleeves, and all of the trim is amber. So you've got the amber 3 stripes on the shoulders, the Adidas logo and word marks picked out in amber. There's also some piping on the sleeves and also towards the hem. We were sponsored by Cash Converters, the Australian pawn shop. It's a bit of a controversial sponsor at the time. And we also had a back of shirt sponsor, which was the laboratory supplies company Scientific Laboratory Supplies. Now this shirt was paired with Regista 12 shorts, and we wore all black at Charlton, Leeds, which was a 3-2 win, Middlesbrough and Nottingham Forest. We had 2 distinctive sets of black shorts that season, one for the home kit and one for the away kit. So we also had 2 sets of amber shorts as well. So the black away shorts that we had for this shirt, we also had an amber set that basically just inverted the colours. And we only wore those once, which was at Doncaster in a League Cup defeat. Later on in the season, we got a back of shorts sponsor on the home shorts, and perhaps we didn't have enough sponsor appliques to go around, so we started wearing the home shorts with the away shirt, and we did that twice. We did that at Blackpool and we did that at Barnsley. There's a Climber Cool tag on the hem. Climber Cool is Adidas's system which combines mesh panels, and you can see there's a amber mesh panel under the sleeves, and also with material that's designed to wick moisture away from the body. And this particular shirt was issued to and clearly worn by Abdoulaye Faye, number 23 that season. Now the sponsor is sort of peeling a little bit, and that clearly comes from quite a bit of wear and quite a bit of use, but it's been very difficult to pin it down to an exact game that he wore that in. But here you have the 2012-2013 away shirt.
That's it for episode 10 of the Kitcast. We'll be back again soon. If you want to follow us on social media, we're at Hull City Kits.
And as always, if you've got any match one shirts that you'd like to trade, sell, or give us, we're always after more shirts, so get in touch.